I tried to just not hang out with any of these people, but my husband kept pressuring me, as he is very family-oriented, and wants me to be included with everything. It all came to a head when a few weeks ago we went over for his brother's birthday, and everyone was there. From the moment I arrived, it was like I was being targeted. Some of my husband's nephews chased me around with a squirt gun, which I wouldn't have minded if there wasn't red dye inside it for some reason. I had made a delicious banana cream pie for dessert, and all the older women chuckled about how awful it looked, telling me I should do better. Everywhere I went there was someone there who was incredibly rude to me. When I went to the bathroom for some peace and quiet, someone immediately knocked on the door and said I needed to hurry as they had an emergency. As soon as I opened the door to leave, someone slammed the banana cream pie I had brought, right into my face. I just heard a bunch of laughter, and by the time I wiped it away from my eyes, his entire family was watching and recording. I was humiliated. I grabbed a towel and ran straight out of the house. I ended up taking a few laps around the block, cleaning myself up and having a good cry. That's when my husband's sister came jogging up beside me and asked to talk. She apologized for what happened and said her family can be a bunch of at times, and this was one of them. I asked why they had all been so mean to me since my husband and I got engaged. She said she would tell me, but I had to promise not to tell anyone. She told me. I agreed, and she said that apparently as soon as we got engaged, one of her brothers made a joke that we weren't even going to last a month. Another said we would at least get married, but then divorce right after. Then it spiraled out of control, until almost everyone in the family had actual bets placed as to when we would break up. In that moment I actually felt my heart drop below my stomach. She said, everyone had been mean to me, hoping to push us toward the breakup they each bet on. Since everyone knew my husband was a pushover, they knew he wouldn't do anything about it. That was when I felt my throat close up, and I asked if my husband knew about all of this. She admitted that he did. He learned on our wedding day actually. His dad got drunk and spilled the tea, telling him to last longer than 5 years, as that was what he had bet. At that moment I couldn't decide if I was more heartbroken, or pissed. For over a year now, I have been telling him how uncomfortable I have been feeling around his family, and he gave excuse after excuse, only to know the entire time they were deliberately trying to drive me away. What the hell? I asked if she was a part of the bet, and she admitted she thought we would have broken up before the wedding, because she thought I would have discovered everything before then. She said that I should know, that my husband placed a bet as well, and asked if I wanted to know how long it was for. I asked if it was any time between now and the next few weeks. When she told me no, I told her, good. I wouldn't want him to win the bet. I stormed away from her and went back to the house to grab my keys and left, leaving my husband behind. I went to my dad's house and broke down, telling him everything. He was furious and looked ready to kill my husband. After a few hours I started to get texts from my husband, asking where I had gone, and why I had left him. That what happened was only a joke. I told him it was more than that, and he ruined everything by lying to me. He told me it was only a pie to the face. It wasn't that big of a deal. That was when I realized his sister hadn't mentioned anything. Of course she didn't. She didn't want to get blamed for spilling the beans. Right then and there I decided to play with the heartstrings of his family, just as they had done to me. I told him I felt sick and had to go, that he should know I picked up a pregnancy test, and it had come out positive. I knew he was still at his brother's house, and within the hour his entire family would know of the news. I told him I needed some time at my dad's house, and that I'd call him when I would be heading home. He didn't even reply to the text, but I saw on his Snapchat story that he and a few other family members were celebrating, while a few in the back looked miserable. No one even called or texted to tell me congratulations. I just rolled my eyes, and asked my dad to set up a meeting with his divorce lawyer for me as soon as possible. My sister-in-law called and asked if I was really pregnant, and I told her I wasn't. I just wanted everyone to feel like they had lost the bet. She told me it was working, and the only people celebrating were those who said we would be together long-term. I thanked her for telling me the truth, but if it's all the same to her, I'd rather never speak to anyone on my soon-to-be ex-husband's side of the family ever again. She said she understood, and wished me luck.